Well, the wife of an Albuquerque cop wants to make targeting a police officer a hate crime. She's launched an online petition to pressure state lawmakers to make that happen. News 13's Candace Hopkins has that story. Candace?
Dean, the woman says she knows officers like her husband are being targeted for nothing more than being on the force. But a civil group says the idea doesn't make any legal sense. Hate crime laws aim to deter violence against people based on their race, religion, or sexual orientation. But the wife of an APD officer thinks it's time to include police in those laws.
I believe it is a hate crime when you're targeting a certain person just because of the uniform they wear.
Natasha Nyberger says being a law enforcement family has always been hard, but recent ambushes on police officers make it even more difficult.
Every day. And it breaks my heart when my little girl, who's 6, says, "Goodbye, Daddy, love you, be safe, come home."
That's why she wants to see tougher penalties, and she says hate crime laws are the way to do it. So far, about 200 people have signed a petition she started on change.org. State Rep and retired Deputy Bill Ream is listening.
I think that it is a law that is needed. We have seen a lot of increased violence towards the police recently.
But the ACLU says the idea doesn't make sense.
To categorize police officers as marginalized or oppressed really kind of misses the point. I mean, they are people with great power and authority in our society, and in fact are sometimes used in the systems that oppress those vulnerable populations.
Representative Ream said he would be interested in sponsoring a bill, but says it should only be a hate crime if a police officer is simply targeted for being a police officer, not if an officer is hurt by a suspect who's trying to get away or doesn't want to go back to prison. Back to you, Dean.
All right, Candace, thank you. Now, a case that would fit the hate crime description would be the Christopher Chase shooting spree in Albuquerque a couple of years ago. He shot and wounded officers because he had something against police. He was killed after a long chase.